Hello and welcome to Behind the Lines. I'm Diane Dayton. It's that time of the year and I am so excited. It's going to be the music series during the summer at Longs Park. And with me right now I have Kristin Chronister. And Kristin, you are part of the Longs Park Amphitheater Board. You're a member. And we are going to talk about all the wonderful things going on. This is great, isn't it?
It's fantastic.
Yeah. And putting together this type of music and this wide variety isn't an easy job, is it?
No, especially post-pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the process.
Sure. There are about 6 music committee members that work for Longs Park, and they've been doing this for many years, most of them. So they're really probably the most knowledgeable musician types that I've ever met, because they specialize in knowing all types of music. You know, you meet musician appreciators and they're really like, oh, I really like the blues, or I really like folk, I really like classical. These people, they know the best of the best in all of the genres. They appreciate it all, and they're really passionate about bringing all different kinds of music to Longs Park.
And that's what's so great about it, because even if you're not familiar with a genre, you have the opportunity to experience this free, might we add.
Absolutely.
Which is really good. So there's Sunday nights, and it's starting on June 5th and runs through Sunday, August 28th. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. So we want people to get there, around what time?
Well, that depends. I like to get there earlier so that I get a good spot.
Yes.
I like to get a little dinner at the food truck, a little scoop of ice cream. So generally we see people coming between 5 and 6 o'clock to get their spot. Announcements start around 7. Music starts at 7:30.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go over some of the artists. Let's start in on this so we can get everybody excited about coming out.
Yes.
So the first one is Sunday, June 5th.
Yes.
And this one is John Cleary and the Absolute Monster Gentlemen.
Yes.
Okay. Tell us about that.
They're fantastic. So John Cleary's music is New Orleans soul. What I really like about this music is it's got a little bit of funk. It's got a lot of pop in it, but it's not, it's not a headbanger rock and roll. It's really easy to listen to. It's smooth. It's clear. They're a really great way to open the season.
Yeah, they really are. And I think the audience here is familiar with them too. Yes. So it's going to be a great way to kick it all off too. Yeah. One thing I think we need to let everybody know too, that it's because of the art festival that's over Labor Day weekend that we get to experience this free music, correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're celebrating 60 years at Longs Park this year for the Summer Music Series. And I think it was in the 70s that the art festival started. And what we quickly realized was that they were going to be bringing in the money that we could use to support the music series. We have 13 concerts every year, pandemic aside. And yeah, the art festival over Labor Day weekend is the reason that we're able to do the Summer Music Series.
Yeah, so we're going to talk a little bit about that a little bit later, but that's also a good reason to come out and support what's going on here too. So also, one of the things we're talking about John Cleary, in 2016, the band won a Grammy for Best Regional Roots Music Album. How cool is that, right?
Yep. Like I said, our music committee knows what they're doing.
They do. So on June 12th, we have the Brothers Landreth.
Yeah. So what I like about the Brothers Landreth is they're not American, but they sound like they are.
Okay. All right.
You know, they're Canadian folk country type rooted music. Again, very easy to listen to. Again, not your classic rock and roll, but really classy Americana type sounding music.
Yeah, and they call folk alternative country band, whatever that really means.
Yeah. I mean, right?
Come out and find out, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Come out and find out. I think they also won a Juno Award, right? For Roots Traditional Album of the Year back in 2015.
Yes. And I believe the Juno Awards is the Canadian equivalent to the Grammys.
Exactly. So once again, 2 big ones to start with. June 19th, we have Tony Jackson coming out.
Oh, he's fantastic.
Okay.
Tony Jackson is, I think, our only true country artist this season. So if you're into country music, that's the guy to come see. And he's really great. I think he's, they've called him the Oh gosh, I can't think of who he's.
They compare him to Randy Travis.
Randy Travis, yes.
That's right. And evidently he's known for singles The Grand Tour, Old Porch Swing, and Country Road. So yeah, if you're into country, this is the one to definitely hit.
Oh yeah.
Definitely hit. June 26th, Con Brio.
Yeah. Soul, rock and roll. This is your more upbeat band. There's a 7-piece or 7-person show. It's a fantastic live uplifting experience.
Yeah, it seems like they're really known for their high energy performances. So this is probably going to get you out of your seat. Is that right?
Oh, definitely.
And be dancing up front with everybody else,
absolutely. Right? I look at the first part of the season as like a nice warm up.
Right.
To Con Brio.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So evidently they're described as party punk version of Sly and the Family Stone. I'll try to imagine that, okay?
Yep.
All right. I think I have that figured out. July 3rd is always so good because we have patriotic music. And this time the celebration is going to be with the U.S. Army Band Pershing's Own. Wow.
Yeah.
Really doesn't get much better than that, does it?
It really doesn't.
Yeah. So evidently, they've been playing together since its inception in 1922.
Yeah.
That really tells you something, doesn't it?
It does. And that concert in general brings out a lot of the community. It's a huge, huge experience. Fireworks. Get there early.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Get there early and
plan your day around it.
Plan your whole day around it, and just be there for a total experience.
Oh, absolutely.
Of celebration together. And I think it's about time, too.
I know. We're due.
We definitely
deserve it.
due. And what's really great, too, there are different food trucks that are there, too, right,
absolutely.
Kristin?
Yep.
Do we have an idea of what types of food? Oh, there's always ice cream, right?
Always ice cream.
Which is
thankfully.
Good. Yes.
I'm not sure who we're having this year, but I know Scoops was doing it last year, and they were fantastic. There's always a good spread.
Yeah, because there's things that you can get for dinner time, too.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, you can either pack your own or bring along as well.
Absolutely. Yep.
Now, July 10th, who do we have?
July 10th, I believe, is Luisito Rosario.
That's it.
Yeah. Latin, salsa. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Every time I listen to his band, and it's really an orchestra, I want to move in my seat. I just want to get up and move.
Well, they're known for a lot of their salsa and their romantic tunes and that sort of thing, too.
Yes.
So once again, it's going to be a time where people are going to be up and going to be moving around. And
Absolutely.
Having
Absolutely.
a wonderful good time.
Yeah.
Now, these performances, we can find out more on the website. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And what is that website?
longspark.org.
.org. On a side note here, this is great because you're originally from Atlanta.
Yeah.
And you're a former opera singer
Yes.
and music teacher. So, and you're a mother of 2 that keep you running. So this is something that I think you put your heart into being a part of, didn't you, Kristin?
Absolutely. Absolutely. When I joined the board, what really drew me to it was the opportunity that Longs Park is providing free music to the community.
Right.
This does not happen in every city. I have not been privy to this in other places. It's a really special thing that Lancaster offers. And I want to be a part of every moment of it. Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's not the only thing you're involved with, too. Tell us the other thing that you're doing.
Yeah, I'm working with Penn Square Music Festival
Okay.
on their development committee.
Okay.
They're the local opera company. They have a music school. And they're bringing classical music and opera to Lancaster in a really unique way.
Yeah, that's great. So, and to find out more about that, where do we go?
Penn Square, you can find Penn Square Music Festival on Instagram, Facebook, their website, and they're always around town. They have concerts probably once a month. Most recently, they did a show called Sopranos and Shots at Tellus 360. Earlier in the season, they did tenors and tequila, basses and beer. Then they did Sopranos and Shots, and their next one in June is mezzos and martinis.
This is great. What I love is that there's so much good music here in Lancaster. It's just knowing where and when to go and where to find it, right?
Absolutely.
And that's why we're here today, to do that too. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a brief pause. When we come back, we're going to tell you about the rest of the schedule at Longs Park, the summer music series that happens on Sunday evenings, and then tell you a little bit more about that fabulous art festival that's over Labor Day weekend. Stay with us. Welcome back to Behind the Lines, and we're talking about all the fantastic music that's going to be available at the Longs Park Summer Music Series on Sunday nights. We're back with Kristin Chronister. She's a member of the Longs Park Amphitheater Board, and where we're picking up now is on July 17th. This is a night on Broadway with the Lancaster Symphony Orchestra. Tell me about that.
I'm so excited about this concert. This is our first collaboration with Lancaster Symphony, I think in 15 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're really excited about this. We've been working several years on what can we do? How can we get the symphony back at the park? And this night on Broadway seemed like the perfect way.
Yeah.
So Ben McNaboe, who is the music director at the Fulton, is leading the helm. Members of the Lancaster Symphony Orchestra will be playing, and we have 4 fantastic singers joining us. We were lucky enough to get them in between national tours and their other shows at the Fulton. And they're going to sing some of our favorite Broadway classics.
Oh, wow. That sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
I love the contrast with all the different types of music. Like we said earlier, this is great. And speaking of contrast, coming up on July 24th, the Steel Wheels from the Blue Ridge Mountains in Virginia.
Yes. This is true Americana music.
Okay.
If you really think of Appalachia and just that, where real American music has come from and derived, it's this band is representative of all of that.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. And it is a perfect segue out of a Broadway classics, which is another American art form. To come into this is a great way.
And people may remember them because they performed there in 2014 and 2017 as well.
Yeah.
So they're obviously a favorite here of the audience too. So on July 31st, Aoife Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're really excited about Aoife. She's an up-and-coming Irish folk singer. Her music is not Celtic necessarily. It's more folk. But it has an Irish flair to it. I mean, it's really sweet and lilting, and she has some powerful vocals as well.
Yeah, evidently she's performing across the states and in Ireland, so this is great that we could catch her while she's here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So tell me about August 7th.
Vieux Farka Touré.
Yes.
They're fantastic. His father was a Grammy Award winner. This is music that, I mean, it bridges soul and jazz and world music. I believe they're based in Montreal. And they're just a great, like you said, spice up for this summer concert series, the different type of music.
It really is. And according to this, he's also collaborated with artists like Dave Matthews and also Derek Trucks, too.
Trucks.
So it's that tells you a lot.
Oh, the caliber of musician is really amazing.
Absolutely. August 14th, we're going to be up and moving around again for this, too. It's Terrence, Simeon, and the Zydeco Express.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're really excited about Terrence coming back. I believe Terrence was also featured on the Disney movie The Princess and the Frog.
Okay.
Which is all based in New Orleans. So he's kind of a front runner for Zydeco music. That concert also, we're working with the Swan organization, which is a local organization working with kids and teaching them music. And he's going to do a master class with them, and he'll bring them up on stage and have them perform.
Oh, now that's going to really be exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm understanding that he's also a Grammy award-winning band. They have, won a Grammy as well.
Yep.
I think that's great. They were here, let me see, in the 2019 Summer Music Series.
Yep.
So let's bring them back. So August 21st, Cherish the Ladies. What is this?
This is our Celtic band for the summer. Cherish the Ladies is everything you think of when you think of Celtic music. They have Irish dancers sometimes. I mean, if you know anything about Irish Celtic music, it's another great opportunity to get up and dance. Really, it's just another world music experience.
Yeah, it's great to bring everybody together with this too. Evidently, they started back in 1985. Wow, so they've been doing this for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So we wrap it up August 28th with who?
Devin Gilfillian.
Okay, tell me about it.
Devin is actually probably our biggest name of the summer. We're very lucky to get him, and he's a great way to close out the summer. A lot of soul in his music, a really rustic voice and a rustic sound, which contrasts nicely with the rest of the rock and roll that we hear earlier in the season.
Yeah, that sounds really good. Evidently, his album Black Hole Rainbow was nominated for a Grammy in 2021. Yeah, so that tells you.
He's really, he's about to explode, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're going to get to hear him here, and once again, for free.
That's right.
At
That's right.
Longs Park. This is a summer music series. Once again, it's starting on June 5th and running through August 28th. And the website we can go to get more information?
longspark.org.
Now, September 2, 3, and 4, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's the Longs Park Art Festival.
That's right.
And this is rated highly across the country, and it's so unique. Tell us a little bit more about that, Kristin.
You're absolutely right. People come from all over the country to this art festival. Artists come from all over the country. This is it's certainly a regional effort, but you can't just sign up to be in this art festival. It's an audition process, it's a screening process. There are artists who we say, not yet. We have artists who come back every year because they're fantastic and they always do well.
Yeah.
So we love having them because they are appreciated by Lancaster, but the artists love coming because Lancaster appreciates them.
Absolutely. And I think something we started was an emerging artist section as well. True?
That's true.
Okay.
We're doing that again this year.
How many did we have, or how many do we usually have for that?
I think it was 2 or 3 last year. I don't think it was a tremendous number of artists. But again, it's a coveted spot. It's not something that anyone can get.
Right. And total artists at the show are somewhere between...
I want to say between 250 and 300 artists.
Okay. And what's beautiful about this, it's set up around the lake, too, isn't it?
It's gorgeous.
So it's a beautiful backdrop. And what's really nice about it, too, you can come out there and spend, well, a day, of course. You can even come out there and spend all 3 days, too. But we have food courts, we have beverages.
Absolutely.
Tell us a little bit more.
Get your glass of champagne and walk around, outside.
Yeah.
So always a beautiful time of year in Lancaster. And the variety of artists, it's just incredible. You'll see woodworking. The next booth will be metalworking. The next booth might be jewelry. The next might be mixed media painting. I mean, it's just, there's something for everyone. And
I find walking through and talking to the artists, it's stimulating with the creativity that I find with them, and it also stimulates the creativity in me as well. And there have been several things that I've bought. I bought pieces of art over the years. Also, the fabric, I've bought clothing there too. And I always am drawn to finding that really unique wine glass as well.
Yes.
So you just never know what you're going to find. I think the key is to be open to see what's there and to bring even the whole family along, right?
Absolutely. I brought my kids last year. They loved it. All of the artists are so friendly and outgoing, and pleasant to talk to. It's a family event for sure.
What's really great is that you really do get to talk to the artists too.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's that way, it's very intimate. You get some interesting feedback from them and understanding what their process is.
Yes.
Yeah, it really is nice. And I can also say I've been there a couple of times in the rain, and it doesn't deter anything for me at all.
No.
It really doesn't. And in fact, sometimes you get that extra time,
Yeah.
you know, when you're there as well too. So when you were with your family, what was one of the highlights for you?
So for me, I was working the
Okay.
show. So when they came to visit, what I felt was really special was that I was able to bring my children around while I was working.
Yes.
So they were able to speak to the artists, not just as, you know, children walking by, but they were helping, and all of the artists were so receptive
Yeah.
and kind. And now my kids get to learn about art from the artists themselves, not just from me saying, oh, isn't that pretty? Now my daughter can ask, well, how did you make that? And she gets to learn from that actual artist.
Yeah, I think that's great. I also like where they have set up where the artists have a piece of work that you can do the raffle
Yes,
to win.
yes. The raffle is great, and it's honestly a really great way to support us as well.
Right.
But you can win some of these beautiful pieces. They're just amazing.
They really are amazing. So the whole thing is too is that this is a wonderful time over Labor Day. It's for the whole family. It's got something for everyone, but it also supports what is a wonderful all summer season of free music at Longs Park. And it's beautiful if you've never been there. This amphitheater, and you can go way up on the hill, or you can be close wherever you want to be, and just bring your chairs, bring your blanket, and just make a whole day of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wow. So once again, tell us about the website and what we're going to find on there.
www.longspark.org. You'll find information about the art festival, ways to donate, ways to volunteer. You'll find information about our summer music series, and you'll see photos and et cetera of the last 60 years of summer music that we've had, and the history that brings, and how we've contributed to Lancaster's community is longstanding.
And you know, volunteers are really important.
Yes.
What are some of the things that you can do as a volunteer?
At the summer music series, we have folks who help at the info tent. They help us do sweeps, which is part of our donation process. We have folks who help with parking, which is always, always, always needed.
Yeah.
At the art festival, we have volunteers doing all sorts of work. Behind the scenes work, we have young men building the fence and, you know, helping artists bring their art back out to the customers' cars. Then we have in-house where you're sitting in a booth so that the artist can go get a meal during the day.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we have the pub volunteers who are helping with the food and drink and the beverages. So there's something for everyone if you're interested in volunteering.
Well, that's great. And this is a whole community affair.
Yeah.
It really is. So you can be involved in helping put it all together and keep it running. You can also come out and enjoy the free music starting on Sunday, June 5th, running up through Sunday, August 28th, and then also going to the Art Festival, which is over Labor Day weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, September 2, 3, and 4. Thank you so much, Kristin.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
So glad you're a part of the board.
Me too.
Yeah. Thanks for joining me today, and thank you for joining today. I'm Diane Dayton with Behind the Lines, reminding you to look behind the lines. You might be surprised what you find.